Decorator, and this is my little friend Dave. Oh, aren't you cute, you little bugger? I didn't realize I was Australian. Actually, I'm not Australian, or British, or even a scientist. I'm a cake decorator, and today I'm actually going to show you how to make Dave. So, let's get started. First of all, it is way too hot in here, and this lab coat is ridiculous. Whose idea was this? I have to talk to my manager. Mom!
You know, Dave, this isn't even a lab. It's my dining room.
Okay, so we're going to start out with the construction of the cake. I started with 2 really tall 6-inch layers. I used a full box for 2 6-inch layers. And we're going to split and fill the cake first so that we get our height, and then we're going to carve the top to make the round head. And I'm also starting with a big bowl of yellow icing. So now we're going to carve the top of the cake to make it round. And you just go a little bit in, not too much. And use your turntable. Okay, and you get your cake stuff out of the way, and then I'm going to offset him a little bit because I'm going to put his feet out in front, so I want him to have enough room for his feet. And now we're going to fill the layers, and I use my turntable a lot. It's a lot easier to make things smooth and even. Okay, so now he's tall, and we're going to start icing him. That my Minion's leaning a little bit, so I'm gonna push him, but it's okay if he's leaning back the front of him because it's easier to see his face. So you want him to lean back a little, but not too much to where it looks like he's falling over. Okay, so we're gonna start smoothing it now. You can use clear plastic strips or parfait strips. If you don't have those, you can just use the edge of the Ziploc bag right here. And you don't want this to get in the way, so I usually just cut it. And what this does is it makes it smooth like fondant, so you can still use your icing and you don't have to use the fondant. Fondant sometimes doesn't taste the best, sometimes it's more difficult to work with, and this icing is still soft and you still have the good taste of the icing and you can still have it smooth. So right now we just want to go around and smooth, and then we want to go up and over so that we can get the round shape. And okay, and now I'm going to get another one and I'm going to cut it in half so that I can do more detailed smoothing. And It depends on what kind of day you're having. Sometimes smoothing is really easy and sometimes it's really hard. And sometimes you just have to start all over again. So, but normally it's pretty easy. You just go very lightly around and it usually gets rid of most of the lines that you have. Keep going around until it's as smooth as you want it to be. And I do this just about every day. So, and it still makes me not be able to talk and decorate at the same time. We're gonna make the overalls now. So I'm just using a coupler and we're gonna smooth it later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just leave my tip in one place and I'm gonna turn the turntable so I'm not moving my hand at all. And then I'm going to go up and try to keep it flat because we don't want it to stick out too much. And one more. And if you keep your hand still, it makes it a lot more even so you don't have his overalls going up and down. So like that. And then we're going to make his overall part. And we're just going to go up and over like that. And then we're going to do the other side. I'm going to try and make him be the same. So we're going to go up and over like that. Okay. Now we're going to smooth out the overalls. So we're just using the end of the Ziploc bag again. I cut it small. And we're just going to do it very lightly so we don't smear it all over the yellow. So you're just going to go over it like this, very lightly. It's okay if you don't get it all in the first try. And I didn't really make this very even, so I'm going to go up so that I can cover all the holes and make it more even. There we go. So you can do it more than one way, just as long as you don't get it on him. It's good. And then we're going to smooth out his shoulder straps. And just very lightly go over and get all the little bubbles out. My hands are extremely hot, so when I work with whip topping, it gets too hot and I make it bubbly, so I have to smooth that out. But if your hands are cold, then you'll be perfect. Okay, so now we're going to do the other side and smooth it out. And there you go. There are his overalls. Okay, so we're going to make his eyeballs now. Some Minions have one, some have two. This one is going to have two, and his name is going to be Dave. So we're going to make his eyeballs, and they're going to be big and round. And you just build them up. This is very warm icing, so we're definitely going to smooth his eyes out. And we want him to be really round. So there's one. Okay, now we're gonna smooth his eyes out. Okay, so take another Ziploc bag and just curve it like this and go around his eye. And smooth it up like this. And like I said, with whipped topping it's a little harder, but with buttercream it's a lot easier to make smooth eyes. But you just want to make sure that they're really round. Okay. Okay, so now it's time for his goggles. Those are very important. And I want to make sure that they're really round, because that's what Minion's eyes look like. And we don't want him to look like something else, do we? No. We want Minions to be themselves. That's what Kesha always says, is be yourself and love yourself. Okay, off topic. Okay, so we're gonna make his goggles round. So we're gonna go all the way around on the outline of his eyes, like that. And all the way around again, like that. And his goggles have little spikes around. So we're gonna make those. And then the goggles get held up by a band. So we're gonna make the band around it. We're gonna do exactly like the overalls. We're just gonna keep the bag in one place and your arm in one place so that it just makes an even circle around, and we're going to turn the turntable. So you just start right here and just pull like this. Don't move your hand. Whoopsie. And we're gonna do, I usually do two straps. So we're gonna go right back on the top, go right on top of the other one, and not moving my hand. And we're gonna fix that. So those are his goggles. And now we want his eyes. Their eyes are brown on the outside. Trust me, they are. I had to look it up. I've done these cakes a million times, and I didn't know their eyes were brown, but they are. So we just want a brown circle around like this, but we don't want them to be different sizes. Let's try not to make them look more crazy than they are. And a big pupil like that. And then the last things we need to do are just his mouth and his pocket on the front and his shoes. And then we're done. And maybe we should add some hair too, because we don't want him to be bald. So we're just gonna do a little smile. And the pocket is just like this, and just like his smile. On the front, we're gonna do 2 buttons. And his shoes are just big bulbs like this. And we also want his shoes to be the same size. Now we can smooth him with our handy dandy little Ziploc bag. And I swear I live by these Ziploc bags and parfait strips. They make everything a lot smoother and look a lot nicer. And then I don't have to use fondant. So I just realized that Minions have arms and we don't want them to be armless. So we're gonna put arms on him and his little gloves. So we're just gonna start in the middle of this little shoulder strap that we made. And we're gonna put some pressure on it and go like this. And then we're gonna make his other arm, put some pressure on it and go like this. Okay, and now we're gonna make his gloves. I usually just put 3 little fingers on him. Do 1, 2, 3, and a little band. And 1, 2, 3, and a little band. There we go, and now we have to add his hair. And he is almost done. Poor thing. So we're gonna add little spikes. And usually when I'm working with icing and to make them tall, I just kind of build up and let go like that. And build up and let go. And these come to the side because he's got crazy hair, crazy spiky hair. Like that. And there you go. There's your Minion. This is Dave, everybody. Welcome him to the world. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making Dave for you. We used a couple of unorthodox tools today, like the Ziploc bags and the figure piping tips. If you'd like to know exactly what figure piping tips we used, you can find it in the description section of this video, along with a recipe for decorating, buttercream, and royal icing. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe and join me on my blog, www.leahscrazycakelab.blogspot.com. My name's Leah. Thank you for watching. We're going to have a bunch of more videos, and we'll see you again soon. Dave, how many times do I have to tell you? You have to be quiet while we're filming. If you would like to know exactly what kind of figure piping tips, there is going to be if you enjoyed this, you were too late.